श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज श्री परम गुरुदेव की जय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोक्षरस प्रभुजी महाराज की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री रघुनाथ बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुकूर्य गुरुवर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल पुरदास शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्राप्ति गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री मन देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। श्री श्रुति स्तुति की जय। श्री उमा दीदी की जय। श्रीमती उमा दीदी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hari bol, everybody. Sorry, I'm just getting this mic set up. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnuvaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Narayanitti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminitti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang pravrajantamanupeta krityam Tvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava Putreti tanmayataya taravobhinedus Tang sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Shrinvatang svakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Ridantasto Yabhadrani Vedhunoti Suritsatam. Nashta Prayesh Pabadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Tavai vasmi Na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakama ditaranga madhe Kripamayi tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, everybody. Dandavat Pranams. So, you're going to be watching this, you're watching this, like I'm pre-recording this video right now. Right now here in Dum Dum Airport, it is 5:11 a.m. I'm boarding at 5:50 a.m., so I only have a short time to read. But yeah, I'm on my way to Vrindavan because I'm sure everybody here has heard about Srimati Umadiri's deteriorating condition. So, yeah, I'm just going for that. I have some malas with me from my Gurudev Samadhi and from Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaja Samadhi. And yeah. So I am going to share my screen again, and we're going to continue our reading of the Shruti Stuti. What chapter is it? Let me just open it. 1 second. All right. Maybe we should read all the verses, the translations to all these verses here. Let's do that. Okay, but I have to open up. 1 second. Veda base. Sorry, I should have done this before. Okay. 10th canto. What chapter is this? Shruti Stuti. 87. Okay. The prayers of the personified Vedas. Text 1. Sri Parikshit said, O Brahmana, how can the Vedas directly describe the supreme absolute truth, who could not be described in words? The Vedas are limited to describing the qualities of material nature, but the Supreme is devoid of these qualities, being transcendental to all material manifestations and their causes. Shukadeva Goswami said, the Supreme Lord manifested the material intelligence, senses, mind, and vital air of the living entities so that they could indulge their desires for sense gratification, take repeated births to engage in fruitive activities, become elevated in future lives, and ultimately attain liberation. Those who came before, even our ancient predecessors, meditated upon the same confidential knowledge of the absolute truth. Indeed, anyone who concentrates on this knowledge will become free from material attachments and attain the final goal of life. In this connection, I will relate to you a narration concerning the Supreme Lord Narayan. It is about a conversation that once occurred between Sri Narayan Rishi and Narad Muni. Once, while traveling among the various planets of the universe, the Lord's beloved devotee Narad went to visit the primeval Narad went to visit the primeval sage Narayan at his ashram. From the very beginning of Brahma's day, Lord Narayan had been undergoing austere penances in this land of Bharat, while perfectly performing religious duties and amplifying spiritual knowledge and self-control, all for the benefit of human beings in both this world and the next. There, Narad approached Lord Narayan Rishi, who was sitting amidst the sage of Kalapa. Lord Narayan Rishi was sitting amidst the sages in the village of Kalapa. After bowing down to the Lord, O hero of the Kurus, Narad asked him the very same question you have asked to me. As the sages listened, Lord Narayan Rishi related to Narada an ancient discussion about the absolute truth that took place among the residents of Janaloka. So Narayan Rishi, the personality of Godhead, said, "O son of self-born Brahma, once long ago on Janaloka, wise sages who resided there performed a great sacrifice to the absolute truth by vibrating transcendental sounds. These sages, mental sons of Brahma, were all perfect celibates. At that time, you happened to be visiting the Lord on Shvetadvip, that supreme Lord in whom the Vedas lie down to rest during the period of universal annihilation. A lively discussion arose among the sages on Janaloka as to the nature of the supreme absolute truth. Indeed, the same question arose then that you're asking me now. The same question arose then that you are asking me now. Although these sages were all equally qualified in terms of Vedic study and austerity, and although they all saw friends, enemies, and neutral parties equally, they chose one of their number to be the and the rest became eager listeners." One second, I'm just going to put on socks because it's really cold here. One second. I just have them right here. So Sri Sanandana replied, after the Supreme Lord withdrew the universe he had previously created, he lay for some time as if asleep, and all his energies rested dormant within him. When the time came for the next creation, the personified Vedas awakened him by chanting his glories, just as the poets serving a king approach him at dawn and awaken him by reciting his heroic deeds. Oh, okay, now I'm all. Alright. One second. Alright, that's where we read up to, right? So the personified Vedas awakened Mahavishnu. It's Mahavishnu, right? By chanting his glories, just as the poets serving a king approach him at dawn and awaken him by reciting his heroic deeds. Now let's come back to this thing. Looks like everything's running okay. Let me just double sure this mic's still plugged in. Okay. So now moving over. Shri Shrutaya Uchu Jaya Jaya Jahyajam Ajita wait. Okay, sorry. Jaya 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 Jam Ajita Dosha Gribhita Gunam Tvamasi Yadatmana Samavarudha Samasta Bhaga Aga Jagarok I don't know what the meter is for this. Aga Jagarokasam Akila Shaktya Avabodakate Kvachira Jayatmana Chacharato Nuchare Nigama. Sorry guys, I didn't know the meter for that. Anyways, the Shruti said, "Victory, victory to you, O unconquerable one! By your very nature, you are perfectly full in all opulences. Therefore, please defeat the eternal power of illusion, who assumes control over the modes of nature to create difficulties for conditioned souls. O you who awaken all the energies of the moving and non-moving embodied beings, sometimes the Vedas can recognize you as you sport with your material and spiritual potencies. Sometimes the Vedas can recognize you as you sport with your material and spiritual potencies." Okay, now we're reading the Sārārtha-darśinī commentary by Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura. The Shruti said, "O unconquerable Lord, May you remain in all your glories, Jaya Jaya, and reveal all your super excellent qualities. The word Jaya is repeated out of either reverence or joy. How should I reveal my glories? The Lord might ask. Shrutis. Be merciful to all the moving and non-moving living beings by destroying their ignorance and helping them to attain the sweetness of your lotus feet. Lord Mahavishnu. But Maya, who imposes ignorance on the jivas, is full of good qualities. So how does she prevent the jivas from attaining me? Shrutis. With the three modes of nature, she bewilders the conditioned souls and makes them falsely identify with their material bodies. Another meaning. Moreover, Maya's modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance produce anarthas, which are not favorable for attainment of your lotus feet. And the word gribhita, bha is substituted for ha, grihita, as is permitted in prayers. Only you cannot be conquered by Maya, whereas others, like Brahma, are vanquished by their own faults. Lord Mahavishnu. But what proof do you have that she cannot conquer me? Shrutis. The proof lies in the fact that in your original state you have already realized the perfection of all opulences. Lord Mahavishnu. But even if ignorance slackens, I am not attained without devotional service, as I myself have stated, Bhaktyaham ekaya grahya. I am obtained only by unalloyed devotion. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:14-21. Shrutis. My Lord, O you who awaken all energies after creating the intelligence and senses of the living entity, O you who awaken all energies. After creating the intelligence and senses of the living entities, you inspire them to work hard and enjoy the fruits of their labor. In addition, by your mercy, you awaken their ability to pursue the progressive paths of knowledge, mystic yoga, and devotional service, which enable them to advance toward you in your aspects of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, respectively. When Jnana, Yoga, and Bhakti mature, you empower the living beings to directly realize you in each of your three aspects. Mahavishnu. What evidence do you have to support this statement? Shrutis. We ourselves are the evidence. On some occasions, such as now, the time of creation, you consort with your external Maya potency, whereas you are always present in your internal energy. It is at times such as the present, when your activity is outwardly manifest, that we, the Vedas, can recognize you in your play. Therefore, the statement of the Brahma Upanishad is correct in saying that you created the senses, mind, and intelligence for the benefit of the jivas. In many places, the Vedas glorify the transcendental personal qualities of the Supreme Lord. Nityam Vijnanam Ananda Brahma. The absolute truth is eternal knowledge and bliss. That's from the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad 3:9-28. The following verse appears in the Shvetashvatar Upanishad 6:11, the Gopal Tapani Upanishad Uttara 97, and the Brahma Upanishad 4:1. Ekadeva sarvabhuteshu gura sarvavyapi sarvabhutarantaratma karmadyaksha sarvabhutadivasa shakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. The one Supreme Lord lives hidden inside all created things. He pervades all matter and sits within the hearts of all living beings. As the indwelling Supersoul, he supervises their material activities. Thus, while having no material qualities himself, he is the unique witness and giver of consciousness. Lord Sri Krishna's personal qualities are further described in the following quotations from the Upanishads. Yas sarvagya sa sarvavid yasya jnana mayam tapaha. He who is all-knowing, from whom the potency of all knowledge comes, he is the wisest of all. That's from the Mundaka Upanishad 1:19. Sarvasya vashi sarvasyeshanaha He is the Lord and controller of everyone. That's from the Brihad-Aranyaka Upanishad 4.4.22. And Ya Pritivyam Tishtan Pritivya Antaroyam Pritivi Naveda. He who resides within the earth and pervades it, He who resides within the earth and pervades it, whom the earth does not know. That's from the Brihad-Aranyaka Upanishad 3.7.3. Lord Vishnu's role in creation is mentioned in many statements of the Shruti. The Brihad-Aranyaka Upanishad 1.2.4 states, So kamayata bahusyam. He desired, I will become many. The phrase So kamayata, he desired, here, implies that the Lord's personality is eternal, for even prior to the creation, the Absolute Truth experienced desire, and desire is an attribute unique to persons. The Aitareya Upanishad 3.11 similarly states, Sa aikshata tat tejo srijata. He saw and his power sent forth the creation. Here the word tat tejaha refers to the Lord's partial expansion Mahavishnu, who glances upon Maya and thus manifests the material creation. Or tat tejaha may refer to the Lord's impersonal Brahman feature, his potency of pervasive eternal existence, as described in Sri Brahma Samhita 5.40. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagaranda koti kotishvashesha vasudhadi vibhuti bhinam tar brahmanishkalamanantamashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Madhya mahimanam cha param brahmeti shabditam vetsyasya grihitam me samprashnar vivritam hridi. You will be thoroughly advised and favored by me, and because of your inquiries, everything about my glories, which are known as Param Brahma, will be manifest within your heart. Thus you will know everything about me. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 8.24.38. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yad Brahma Jyoti Sanatanam Yadhi Pashyanti Munayo Gunapaye Samahita. Shri Krishna reveals the indestructible spiritual effulgence, which is unlimited, conscious, and eternal. Sages see that spiritual existence in trance when their consciousness is free of the modes of material nature. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.28.15. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya cha. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Okay, sorry. Anyways, he's speaking to us, but I don't think I need to hear it. Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Sorry. These statements show Lord Shri Krishna as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, and their relationship. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantabhisham vishanti tad brahma tad vijigyasasva. Sorry. from whom this cosmic manifestation has emanated, and in whom everything will merge after annihilation. That's from the Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1. This verse shows Lord Vishnu's creative aspect. Such statements as Akshayan ha vai chaturmasya yajina sukritam bhavati. One who is worshipped by means of the vows of chaturmasya attains pious credits which never become depleted. Statements such as those validate the process of karma. Such statements as Brahma Vid Apnuti Param Iti, attaining knowledge of Brahman, one attains the Supreme, in Taittiriya Upanishad 2.1.1, and Tam Eva Viditvati Mrityum Eti, by realizing him, one transcends death. That's Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.8, validates the process of Gyan. Let's look at that again really quickly. So, statements such as one who's worshipped by means of the vows of Chaturmasya attains pious credits which never become depleted, validate the process of karma, and statements such as attaining knowledge of Brahman, one attains the Supreme, and by realizing him, one transcends death. Those statements validate the process of Gyan. Now we're going to see the verse that shows the process of yoga. This one. Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyas tasam urdhanam abhine sritaika tayordvam ayan amritattvameti vishvaganya utkramane bhavanti. There are 101 subtle nerve channels, nadis, which emanate from the heart, by which the soul may quit the body. One of these, the Sushumna, extends to the top of the head. By passing up through it, one transcends death. The others lead to a variety of destinations. Chandogya Upanishad 8.6.6. This verse shows the process of yoga. And now, I love this verse. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhu taught us all this verse in Puri. Bhaktir evainam nayati, bhaktir evainam darshayati, bhakti vasha purusho, bhaktir eva bhuyasi. Bhakti alone leads the living entity to Lord Krishna and enables him to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shri Krishna is controlled by Bhakti. Bhakti is the best of all. Sachid Anandaika Rase Bhakti Yoge Tishtati. My human-like form, which is eternal and full of transcendental knowledge and blissful rasas, is revealed when my devotees serve me with devotion. That's from Gopal Tapani Upanishad 279. These two verses demonstrate the process of devotional service, bhakti. Okay, probably going to end after this verse 15. Oh God, but I don't know the meter for this. Let's see. Brihadupalabdham. No. Brihadupalabdham etad avayatya vasheshataya yata udayastam ayo vikritir mridiva vikritat atarishayo dadhustvai mano vachanar charitam katamayatha pavanti bhuvi dattapadani nrinam. Oh, I think I kind of got it. Anyways. This visible world is identified with the Supreme, because the Supreme Brahman is the ultimate foundation of all existence, remaining unchanged as all created things are generated from it, and at last dissolved into it, just as clay remains unchanged by the products made from it. Sorry. I just want to understand this. Sorry, let me reread this. This perceivable world is identified with the Supreme, because the Supreme Brahman is the ultimate foundation of all existence, remaining unchanged as all as all created things are generated from it, and at last dissolved into it, just as clay remains unchanged by the products made from it, and again merged with it. Thus, it is toward you alone that the Vedic sages direct all their thoughts, words, and acts. After all, how can the footsteps of men fail to touch the earth on which they live? Commentary. Lord Mahavishnu said, "But you, the Shrutis, call not only me the Supreme Lord, but you say that other demigods are also supreme in verses like the following. Indro yato vasitasya raja. Indra is the supreme king of all moving and non-moving beings." That's the Rig Veda 1:32-15. And Agnir Murdha Diva. Agni is the chief of the heavens. These and other mantras points to different deities as these and other mantras point to these as the absolute. It would seem then that the Vedas present a polytheistic worldview. The Shrutis replied, "Yes, this is true, but it is a logical necessity that there can be only one source of the universal creation, called Brahman or Brihat, the greatest, which is the singular truth underlying and pervading, which is a single truth underlying and pervading all existence. No finite demigod like Indra or Agni can fulfill this unique role. Lord Vishnu alone is the absolute truth. Indra and other demigods may be glorified in various ways, but they possess only those powers Lord Shri Vishnu has granted them." With this intention, the Shrutis speak this verse. The Shrutis said, "This entire world, including Indra, Agni, and everything else perceivable by the eyes, ears, and other senses, with the one supreme truth, the personality of Godhead, who is called Brihat, the greatest, because he is Avashesha, the ultimate substance that remains." There is a famous analogy regarding clay, Mridiva. A massive clay is the ingredient cause of various pots, statues, and so on. But the clay itself remains in its essence unchanged. Eventually, the pots and other objects will be destroyed and returned to the clay from which they came. Similarly, as the Supreme Lord, you are the total ingredient cause, yet you remain eternally untouched by the generation and dissolution of the universe. Lord Vishnu: "Doesn't that mean that I must be subject to transformation?" Shrutis: "No. Because you are devoid of transformation. You're avikritat. Indeed, it is certainly astonishing that you are not transformed. Even though you are the ingredient cause of the universe. As the great devotee Gajendra prayed, Namo Namaste Kilakaranaya Nishkaranayad Bhutakaranaya. Obeisances again and again to you, the source of all creation. You are the inconceivable cause of all causes, and of you there is no other cause. That's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 8:3-15. Even the substance clay remains without change while serving as an ingredient cause, and therefore you are not at all transformed while creating, maintaining, and destroying the universe. The demigods have confirmed this in such statements as Srajasi Pasi Harasi. You create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation by yourself. We also say the same thing. Although Prakriti, material nature, is often considered the ingredient cause of creation, this does not contradict the truth that you are the final cause, since Prakriti is your energy and is herself subject to change. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:24-19, Shri Krishna says, Prakritiryasyopadana adhara purusha para sato bhivyanjaka kalo brahmatat tritayam taham. The material universe is real, having Prakriti and as its origin. The material universe is real, having Prakriti as its original ingredient and final state. Lord Mahavishnu is the resting place of nature, which becomes manifest by the power of time. Thus, nature, the Almighty Vishnu, and time are not different from me, the supreme absolute truth. The material nature undergoes change because she is not your internal energy, which, like you, is never subject to change. Therefore, the sages have directed their minds, words, and activities to serving you and meditating. The sages have directed their minds, words, and activities to serving you and meditating upon you alone. That, rather than to such separated to you alone, rather than to such separated transformations of nature as Indra and other empowered demigods. Yeah. There's another example to illustrate this point. Just as a man's footsteps, whether placed on mud, stone, or bricks, cannot fail to touch the surface of the earth, so whatever the Vedas discuss within the realm of material generation is actually you alone, the cause of all and the supreme controller. As the Chandogya Upanishad 641 affirms in its statements, Vacharam bhanamvikaro navadheyam vritiketi vasatyam. The objects of the material world exist merely as names, transformations defined by language, whereas the ingredient cause, like the clay from which pots are made, is the actual reality. And sarvakala vidam brahma. Reality is understood properly when everything is seen to be dependent on Brahman, the Absolute, for its existence. Thus, the meaning of the verse cited above from the Chandogya Upanishad beginning Vacharam Bahanam is as follows. That which is initiated, a transformation or product. Such a product is named by words such as pot or so on, while it is the clay which is the cause and reality. Should I try reading another verse? Let's see how long the commentary is. Yes, I will. Etitavasurayastradipate kilalokamala Shapanakatam ritabdim avagaya tapangsi jahu Kemutapuna swadhama vidutashaya kala gunaha Paramabhajantiye. They're starting boarding. I'm gonna quickly finish this. Paramabhajantiye padam ajasra sukhanubhavam. What number am I? Let me just see what zone I'm in. Therefore, O Master of the three worlds, the wise get rid of all misery by diving deep into the nectarian ocean of topics about you, which washes away all the contamination of the universe. Then what to speak of those who, having by spiritual strength rid their minds of bad habits and freed themselves from time, are able to worship your true nature, O Supreme One, finding within it uninterrupted bliss. Oh, I'm in zone 1. Anyways, I can be at the end of the line. Let me reread this sentence though. Therefore, O Master of the three worlds, the wise get rid of all misery by diving deep into the nectarian ocean of topics about you, which washes away all the contamination of the universe. Then what to speak of those who, having by spiritual strength rid their minds of bad habits and freed themselves from time, are able to worship your true nature, O Supreme One, finding within it uninterrupted bliss. Commentary. By citing the behavior of saintly persons in this verse, the Shrutis confirm their assertion that Krishna is worshipable because he is the Supreme Lord. The Shrutis prayed, O Lord of all in the upper, middle, and lower worlds, because you are the Supreme, Those with discernment dive in the nectarian ocean of your pastimes, which destroy the contamination of karma even in its subtlest forms. They abandon the troublesome austerities that are part of the process of jnana and transcend all the miseries of material life. This refers to advancing devotees practicing the rules and regulations of spiritual life. What to speak of the perfected devotees who by spiritual strength have dispelled the bad qualities of their minds, such as attachment, and all the effects of time, such as old age? O Supreme One, by immersing themselves fully within the nectarian ocean of your glories, these mature devotees achieve unimaginable perfection and transcend all material miseries. In this regard, the Rig Veda 1:154-1 says, Vishnor nukam viryani pravocham ya partivani vimame rajamsi. Only he may fully enunciate the heroic deeds of Lord Vishnu, who can count all the particles of dust in the world. Many Shruti mantras glorify devotional service to the Lord, such as Eko Vashi Sarva Goye Nu Bhajanti Dhira Tesham Sukam Shashvatam Netaresham. He is the one omnipresent Lord and controller. Only those wise souls who worship him and obtain eternal happiness, not anyone else. That's from the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, Purva 2.1. Alright, so that's our reading for today. How come? I thought they're supposed to start boarding at 5:55. It's 5:47. Anyways.